Lena Dunham isn't trying to reinvent the rom-com, that's why Too Much works in the early going. The Netflix rom-com series Too Much feels familiar. Jessica, Megan Stalter, so brilliant as Kayla on Hacks, has suffered a painful breakup with her crummy boyfriend, who is now dating an Instagram influencer. Tired of licking her wounds with her sister, series co-creator Lena Dunham, her mom, Rita Wilson, and her grandmother, Rhea Perlman, Jess accepts an assignment in London as a producer on a high-profile Christmas ad. While she's in England, she meets a musician named Felix, Will Sharp, and they stumble into a messy situationship and try to navigate around the extensive baggage they're both carrying. It's your basic, you go on a new adventure to try to turn the page, and then you bump right into a new complication story, at least on the surface, but as with any entry into any established genre, it's the execution that succeeds or fails. Stalter is a tremendously winning rom-com heroine, just silly enough to throw herself into comedic situations. A woman in a story like this will always find herself locked in a bathroom at some point, but grounded enough that her feelings matter and can be taken entirely seriously. Jess is fixated on Wendy, her ex's new girlfriend, played by Emily Ratajkowski, but that's less because she's envious that the woman took her boyfriend and more because she resents that Wendy's shiny online presence makes it seem like life is easy, and life, she knows, is not easy. By the way, when I say this is a rom-com, I mean it is an actual romantic comedy. It is not elevated. It is not trying to fix something anyone perceives to be broken in the genre. The meet-cute, in particular, is impeccable. The show really starts to cook, though, when it invests in Felix as much as it does in Jessica. Rather than a lopsided story of this messy woman who meets a hot man and either does or does not make a success of her relationship with him, it becomes a story about both of them. Felix is a guy in a band whose sobriety feels precarious and who feels like he's stalling out and getting too old to be, well, a guy in a band. He's been pretty banged up by events in his life, at least as much as she has. And while she at least has her beloved family, Felix's home life with his parents and sister is full of pain, and his childhood was largely unhappy. If she is afraid to hope a love story between them might be somehow restorative, she's certainly not the only one. That it's a good example of a romantic coupling where the obstacles to happiness are internal, they arise from the personalities and histories of the characters, rather than external. They work for warring companies, one of them is in a relationship, or they're from two families in Verona with a generations-long feud. They have to figure out a lot of things, but none of them are how to get along or how to like each other. No, they like each other right away, they enjoy